cool on these. Welcome back. Like the seats of an 86 Delta 88 coupe on D's and bones, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Going live in a minute, Blizzard King. This is Winter Dinner Spurling Podcast. You are rocking with the realest black men represented. Ain't no lies, cause we winning. Catching flies, ain't no feelings. Uncle D, we the villain, baby. We just left the village, baby. Now we in them villas, baby. Dinner Spurling Podcast, tuning in, we get it, baby. You can hate the player, hate the game. We love all you haters. Hate watch, hate watch. Calling lovely ladies, hands on your knees. You can thank us later. We snatching the crowns off of queens. We obliterate them. Tell the truth, shame the devil. They trying to eliminate us. You begging the sipping haters. Peeling layers off potatoes. Whoa. Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass. Tennis Spurling Podcast. Whoa. Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass. Tennis Spurling Podcast. Whoa.
We have to clean up what's going on in our house before we do anything else. Have pride in yourselves. Don't be so hard on yourselves. That's the other thing. Don't let this world keep kicking you and making you feel like you're not good enough. You plenty. I don't care if you're 10 pounds, 50 pounds overweight, 30 pounds underweight. You don't make enough money. You make too much money. You're too tall. You're too short. You're perfect the way you are. And I want you brothers to begin to take that. A lot of you guys did not have father figures to reinforce these things in you. You don't have that manly, fatherly love supporting you in the back of your head saying, son, you can go out there. The world is yours. I'm not your father's, but I love you like I'm your own uncle. We all want people. And so I'm telling you, brothers, I love you as a person that most people would say is successful. I'm telling you, the opportunity is out there. And most of you guys are doing much better than I was at your age. You're more confident. You got the world, you got the benefit of people like me who've made mistakes. And I want to see you ball. That's it. Look, you might not like it, but that's still who we are. That exuberance, that flamboyantness, that's the black man. And below I see athleticism, I see timing, I see soul. I promise you, if that was a white man out there dancing like that, moving and had that sort of timing, you all would be okay with it. And I'm telling you, it's okay to be okay with it. It's appropriate. He is at the African American graduation. He's getting his AA degree. That boy is probably no more than 19, 20 years old. Coming from where he came from, the same place I came from. If I could dance like that, I might do it now.
Puerto Rican man or Dominican man?
Black.
Puerto Rican man or Dominican man?
Like black men, like other cultures. This is the happiest people I ever met. And the nice.
If you tell the truth, you're gonna rub
the
them
most
up.
beautiful
If you tell the truth, you lose your job. If you tell the truth, people think you're a bad guy.
We winning, we winning. We foundation inventors over here. Black men been building and contending over here. Gender wars have started, lot of sinning over here. Trying to get it together, no pretending over here. God's plan is real, they attacking the original. How you want protection in your section, hypocritical. How you want a real man, think it's so cynical. Number one, in hospital deaths, talking clinical. Depression turn 50, die alone, it's preventable. You can't even wear your own hair using chemicals. You won't even listen to your man, not identical. You having them Drake babies, we not feeling you. Time is running out, you can't hide, we revealing you. Ain't nobody ever told the lies that we see in you. Divest, vanilla up your pie, still invisible. That's why we fly to friendly skies, and here's the proof. Yeah, baby, we winning over here. No drama, no mamas, yeah, we winning over here. Options, we got options, we winning over here. One take a L when we winning over here. This when it feels like we winning over here. Celebrate, they hate while we winning over get back to Thailand, man. Got on my Bangkok shirt, man. I'll be back out there.
Thailand,
Oh, yeah, I'm
You
ready.
to
I'm
go
just
back?
peace, relaxation.
You had enough
bro.
of the Matrix?
Oh, man, I already had enough. When I got back almost 2
Everything
months
look
ago.
different. What I tell you, when you come back, everything
Oh,
look
yeah.
different.
We winning over here. Jump the blizzard jumps. Jump the blizzard, yeah, the blizzard jumps. Jump the blizzard, yeah, the blizzard jumps. Jump the blizzard, cause the blizzard jumps. Finances are short, so they taking from the men. Open up them borders, let them immigrants come in. Dilute the water, so you sipping from the sin. Bioengineered all the food that's going in.
This is science meat. FDA approved science meat, of course. It was grown in a vat instead of inside an animal's body. And I'm about to chow down on it.
Pause in the country, even music full of gin. Evil spirits and devils got us jumping out the spin. Can't trust the people, no community events. Diseases inside, destroy communities within. Yeah, baby, we winning over here. No drama, no mamas, yeah, we winning over here. Options, we got options, we winning over here. Why take a L when we winning over here? That's what when it feels like we winning over here. Celebrate they hate while they winning over here. Smell that, that's confidence, we winning over here. Passport, no doubt, I'll be winning over here. Up jump the blizzard and the blizzard jumps me. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. Up jump the blizzard and the blizzard jumps me. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. Up jump the blizzard, yeah, the blizzard jumps me. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. Up jump the blizzards and the blizzard jumps me. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king.
$1 million for you can't see the pumps. Not country. Country girl just love it just because. Wanna work so hard? You work too hard, man, and don't girl. Country girl take you how you is. Country girl accept you. You understand what me I say? Country girl will cook for you, clean for you, wash your clothes for you, make sure wipe out mat out your eye for you, dig out your nose for you, bust your bum for you, turning on no time for
I'm
that.
trying to see what that be like right there. Look, be that time.
Jet means forward. You requested it, so we rewound.
Yeah, baby, we winning over here. No drama, no mamas, yeah, we winning over here. Options, we got options, we winning over here. Why take a L when we winning over here? That's what when it feels like we winning over here. Celebrate they hate while they winning over here. Smell that, that's confidence, we winning over here. Passport, no doubt, I'll be winning over here. Up jump the blizzard and the blizzard jumps me. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. Up jump the blizzard and the blizzard jumps me. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. Up jump the blizzard, yeah, the blizzard jumps me. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. Up jump the blizzards and the blizzard jumps me. Up jump the blizzard, talking about the blizzard king. We winning, we winning, we winning, we winning, 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 we winning, we winning, we winning, we winning. We winning, we winning, we winning, we winning, 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 we winning, we winning, we winning, we winning. We winning, we winning, we winning, we winning, 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 we winning, we winning, we winning, we winning. We winning, we winning, we winning, we winning, 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 we winning, we winning, we winning, we winning, winning.
And then you wonder why brothers want to get on the airplanes and go other places. Half the time, we could deal with the women. It's you dudes. You self-hating, selfish, narcissistic black men that we don't want to be around. We can't enjoy anything. Because if we got 2 nickels more to rub together, then you want to come hit us upside the head and take it. Y'all always coveting somebody else's stuff. Y'all, truthfully, y'all jealous of that man, Aaron Sloan. You wish you could speak like him. He was too proud, and so y'all wanted to break him down, just like the slave catcher DNA that's running through your blood. What's up? What's up? Welcome to the broadcast. This is Dennis Spurling. Shout out to everybody in the chat room, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit the number 1 button. Look, fam, look. You know, the thing about it is, I'm just keeping 100 with you. You got a lot of successful people out there in the world, a lot of people in the Black American community, but none of them really tell you how to be successful. The answer to a lot of the issues that Black American men are having is financial. And the conversation that I'm going to have today, it kind of follows the conversation I had last night. A lot of you all don't think like me, which is why uh, you're not successful. And I'm not saying I'm the most successful, but I've done pretty well in this world, especially considering where I came from. I'm a young man who grew up in South Central LA. My mother was pregnant when she was a teenager. I was basically raised around a bunch of gangsters and ex-cons in the heart of the city. Didn't know who my real father was until I was in my 40s. And so I had all the strikes against me, but I still managed to do a couple of things. And that is figure out how this system works. Now, before we get started, I want to give a big shout out to all my guys. Shout out to the Wrench Mob, everybody with Wrench, Boris Barracuda, Glow Hardy. Who else we got in here, man? We got JJ Diesel, Cowboy, Traveler 79 Smith. Big shout out to you. Mark the Freelancer. Who else we got up in here, fam? Let's see. Oh, RPM. Shout out to you. All my membership too, man. Michael J, Wrench Mob. Big shout out to Pooh Man 313. So last night we kind of got into a conversation about these immigrants and how they've been coming over here. And I'm saying, instead of being afraid of them, let's try to figure out how we can make some money off of them. Now, what we're going to talk about today is getting rich. Somebody type rich in the chat room. Somebody type getting rich in the chat room. Come on, let's have this honest conversation. Today's broadcast is a bit about getting rich in a rigged system. And we're speaking directly to Black men who are navigating the challenges of building wealth in a system that often feels stacked against us. The truth is, while the system may be rigged, it also presents us with immense opportunities if we know how to seize them. It's time to stop letting the unfairness of the world hold us back and start using our advantage. We, brothers, somebody type brothers in the chat room. We, come on, let's get it. We can turn obstacles into stepping stones and leverage our knowledge, discipline, and resilience to create real lasting wealth. And this conversation is about more than just getting by. It's about rising above and building the legacy we deserve. The opportunity to build wealth in America and what it really means if you're struggling to get ahead, especially here. We need to change the mindset, focus on what really matters, and play the game to win. Let's start with some cold, hard facts. Shout out to the Blizzard King. The United States is home to nearly 40% of the world's millionaires. I want you to understand what I just said. 40% of the world's millionaires, which is a total of 22,000 millionaires, live right here in the United States. I'm sorry, not 22,000, 22 million millionaires live right here in the United States. And I want you to think about that for a second. Almost half of the world's wealthiest people live right here in the good old US of A. That's a staggering figure, especially when you consider that the United States only makes up 5% of the global population. So what does that tell us? It tells us that this country, despite all its flaws, is still the land of immense opportunity, especially when it comes to financial success. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, Dennis, is tough out here. The system is rigged. The economy is unstable. The cost of living is through the roof. And yes, there's truth in all of that. But here's the bottom line. If you can't make it here, you can't find a way to build wealth in the country. If you can't find a way to build wealth in the country that holds 40% of the world's millionaires, then what makes you think you'll succeed anywhere else? Let's be clear. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying everyone's journey is the same, but the fact remains that if you're not taking advantage of the opportunities available in the US, you're not going to magically find success elsewhere. Playing the field might be tough, but it's one of the most fertile grounds for wealth creation in the world and that the world has ever seen. Think about it. People from all over the world risk everything to come here because they know the potential that exists in this country. They see what some of us take for granted, a system that, despite its imperfection, rewards hard work, innovation, and persistence. Somewhat, or should I say, what's the takeaway here? It's simple. If you're serious about securing your financial future, you need to leverage the opportunities that are right in front of you, whether it's starting a business, investing wisely, or simply being disciplined in your savings. The tools are all here. The path to becoming one of the 40% of the millionaires starts with a mindset shift from seeing obstacles to seeing opportunities. In the end, it's not about where you're from or what you've been through. It's about where you're going and how you plan to get there. America, for all its challenges, still offers one of the best chances to build wealth. And if you're not taking advantage of that, then you need to ask yourself why. And more importantly, what you're going to do about it. So let's dive a little deeper. Let's dive a little deeper into something that I know is on your minds, is on the minds of many of us. Somebody type us in the chat room. And that's the idea that the system is rigged against you, especially as a Black American, especially as a Black American man. I won't scapegoat it. I'm not going to well, let me say this. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We've seen and experienced firsthand the injustices and the systematic barriers that have been placed in our way for generations. But today, I want to challenge you and to shift your perspective on this. Yes, the system is rigged. I agree. Yes, it's designed in ways that favor certain groups over others. But see, here's the kicker. The same system that has tried to hold us back can also be the very tool we use to propel ourselves forward. It's time we stop seeing the rigged nature of the system as a reason to give up and start seeing it as a challenge that we can overcome and even turn into an advantage, being an American citizen. Regardless of your background, it grants you a ticket to enter the money-making arena. That's the reality. You're already in the game, fam. But here's the thing about capitalism. It's not fair. It's not supposed to be fair. Fairness isn't the goal in capitalism. Winning is. And to win, you have to understand the rules, even if they're rigged. And then you have to play the game to your advantage. Some of us have developed a deep, self-righteous aversion to the idea of unfairness. We think it's not fair. I don't want any part of it. But let me tell you, that mindset is a luxury we can't afford. Fairness is a noble idea, but in the world of capitalism, it's not the currency. The currency is power, influence, and strategy. You have to be willing to get your hands dirty to play the game. Let me say that like this. You have to be willing to get your hands dirty to play the game with the cards you're dealt, even if they're not the best cards in the deck. And here's another another hard, cold truth. Vilifying the rich, hating on those who have figured out how to navigate the system, it only works against you. When you constantly focus on tearing down those who have wealth, you're programming your subconscious mind to reject wealth when it comes your way. You're setting up mental roadblocks that's going to undermine your efforts before you even get started. Instead of condemning success, study it. Somebody type study it in the chat room. Somebody type study it in the chat room. Come on now. Study it in the chat room. Learn from those who've mastered the game. Even if you don't agree with how they did it, you can learn from them. Remember this. The system uses and abuses everyone. It takes advantage of the weak, the uninformed, and the unprepared. It also takes advantage of the strong, the informed, and the well-prepared. But see, here's the thing. It rewards those who can figure out how to use it to their benefit. So the choice is clear. To me, you can either learn to use the system or you'll be used by the system. And there's no in between. See, it's time we stop waiting for the system to become fair and start leveraging it for our own success. And that means understanding the financial opportunities that exist even in the rigged system. It means educating ourselves on how money works, how investments grow, and how businesses thrive. It means taking the time to learn the rules of the game. Somebody type rules of the game in the chat room. We learn the rules of the game so we can beat the game. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. But what I am saying is that it's possible and that it's necessary if we want to build generational wealth. Somebody type generational wealth in the chat room. If you want to create a legacy that lasts, somebody type legacy in the chat room. If so, then you have to learn to engage the system, flaws and all, and use it to your advantage. So let's stop complaining about how unfair the system is and start figuring out how to make it work for us. Let's stop letting the rigged nature of capitalism be our excuse and start making it our motivation. We have the power. We have the knowledge. We have the resilience to succeed. We already in the game. So now let's take advantage and claim what's ours. Now, let's get a real moment for a minute. Y'all with me? Come on now. Where we at? You guys with me? Let's get turned up. Let's get a real moment. A lot of us have a deep-seated aversion to the wealthy. You talk about how much you dislike the rich, how you can't stand what they represent. If I put Bill Gates on there, some of y'all are going to say something negative about him, but he's a billionaire. Huh? If I say Jeff Bezos, somebody's going to complain about how their Amazon package was late, but he's one of the richest men in the world. On the same breath, Elon Musk, same thing. On the same breath, as you complaining about somebody like that, guess what you're going to do? You still want to be them. You still want to have that money. At least you want to have that money. Now, how does that even make sense? How can you hate what you aspire to be? You're a confused warrior in this financial game. You don't know if you want to be rich or you hate the rich. It's like saying you want to be healthy, but you despise anyone who is fit and takes care of their body. The two just don't go together. Let's break that down. Some of you say you want, let's use this for instance. Some of you say you want to help the homeless. You want to give back to the community. But the reality is, many of you are just one paycheck away from being homeless yourself. You're in no position to help anybody right now. Yet, you're so focused on others that you're not taking care of your own doggone situation. It's not noble. It's a cop-out. It's easier to stay broke and pretend like you're helping those worse off than you because that gives you a reason to avoid addressing your own financial struggles. And let's be honest, staying broke and doing a few good deeds here and there, that's not really helping anyone in the long run. No, that's not what you're doing. You're not helping the people you say you're trying to help. What you're doing is virtue signaling. You're pointing to your so-called good deeds as a way to distract from the fact that you're not where you want to be financially. It's easier to give away a few dollars and then complain about what others have and what you don't have instead of taking a hard look at what you need to do to get ahead. And it's not just about homeless people. Shout out to my man, Internet Passport. I'm going to get you in a minute. It's easy to say, I'm going to help the homeless. I help my family. You virtue signaling. See, the truth is, if you really want to help others, if you really want to make a difference, the best thing you can do is to get your own house in order first. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't lift others up if you're struggling to stand up on your own 2 feet. The more you build yourself up, the more resources and influence and power you'll have to make a real impact in the world. But to get there, you got to stop hating on the rich. You got to stop hating at all. Shout out to all my hate watchers who haven't subscribed to my channel. Nevertheless, you got to stop hating on the rich. You got to stop with the envy and the bitterness and the excuses. Wealth is not evil. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money might be the root of all evil, but money itself is not the root of all evil. It's a tool, like any tool. It can be used for good or bad. What matters is how you use it. If you want to be wealthy, you need to stop vilifying wealth and start understanding how to create it, how to manage it, how to grow it. Don't be a hater, be a congratulator. Bars. Don't be a hater, be a congratulator. You see? Clap when you see somebody come up. See, what we've been doing is a cop-out. It's easy, it's an easy way out. It's an easy way to stay where you are, to keep pointing fingers, to keep complaining. Shout out to my man Glow Hardy. You keep complaining about how the system is unfair, but that's just a distraction. The harder path, the path of real success, requires that you take responsibility for your own financial situation, to educate yourself about money, to hustle, to grind, to build. When you do that, when you focus on bettering yourself, when you stop making excuses and start taking action, that's when you really will be in a position to help others, if that's what you want to do. Some of y'all just lying. You take a few dollars and some old clothes down to the Goodwill, and that's your reason for not being rich. That's your reason for not sacrificing. Let's just keep it 100. But until you get to that point, that's when you'll have the ability to make a difference. Not just a few dollars here and there. You'll be able to do it on a much larger scale. That's when you'll be able to create opportunities for others, to lift people out of poverty, to contribute, to help your community in ways that truly matter. So ask yourself, are you going to keep using other people's wealth as an excuse for your own lack of progress? Or are you going to change your mindset, embrace the challenges, and start working towards the success you say you want? It's time to stop playing the blame game, fam. Brothers, I'm talking to you. It's time to stop playing the blame game. Start playing the game of life to win. And winning doesn't mean you're turning your back on the hood, you're turning your back on your people, you're turning your back on your family. That's not what that means. It means you putting yourself first. I tell you brothers all that time, put yourself first. Put yourself in a position to help. Put yourself in a position to be more effective than you could ever be. See, a lot of black people complain, and let me give you something. Okay? You got to turn, the path to wealth starts with changing your mindset. And I can preach that. Shout out to Lateral Richard. Welcome to the membership. You've got to change your mindset first. Don't hate the game. Learn to play it and play to win. Now, racism. Isn't that what we complain about all the time? Black people complain about racism all the time, don't we? If you let that be a crutch, it will. As I tell you all the time, it's not going anywhere. Believe me. And I understand deeply because I'm an attorney and I deal with racism every single day, in and out the courtroom. It's the interactions with my interactions with opposing counsel. Even my interactions with my own clients. I've had white clients and I know they're racist as hell. Yeah, I said it, my own clients. The very people I represent may harbor racist views towards foundational Black Americans in general. But here's the key. I've learned how to use racism to my advantage. Let me explain. Over the past 24 years of practicing law in multiple states, I found myself in countless situations where I'm suing someone who has a criminal record. For you guys who don't know, I practice personal injury law. What that means is I deal with people primarily who've been injured. Oftentimes it's car accidents. That's the bread and butter of the civil practice of law. That's where anybody has cut their teeth. If you want to be great, you want to be a class action lawyer, you want to get to the top of the pile, you probably going to start off doing car accidents. Great living, enjoy doing it, bottom line is 2 people get in a car accident is random. Oftentimes what happens is I end up filing a lawsuit against somebody who hit my client, and that person who is at fault more likely than not will have a criminal record. If you get involved in a car accident and you in your neighborhood, you black, the other person more likely is going to be black. If not, they might be Hispanic. And almost invariably, when I file a lawsuit against those people, they're going to be represented by some white attorney, typically a white male working at some prestigious law firm who went to some prestigious law school. Now, this setup puts that white lawyer, in a very precarious position. Listen, he's forced to defend someone, this black or brown person, who may have a criminal record, who black already, you're already black, so some stereotypes to go with that. But in the eyes of that white judge and that all-white jury, he embodies every one of their racist tropes and their stereotypes, especially if he has a criminal record, especially if he's black or brown. So from the very beginning, the jury is already viewing their black Hispanic defendant with suspicion, assuming guilt, simply based on their appearance and background. Meanwhile, here I am, a black attorney who has spent years mastering the rules of civil procedure and legal process. I'm doing everything I can to put this white lawyer in a compromised position. And this is where it gets interesting. I want you to hear the game. You see, that white attorney, whether he admits it or not, he often is subject to the society that he lives in. He harbors the same stereotypes and prejudices that are ingrained in our society. He doesn't want to take a loss from a black attorney, number one, especially since society has conditioned him to believe that I'm supposed to be inferior, I'm supposed to be less intelligent, or that I attended a substandard school, law school. He doesn't want to match his Ivy League degree against my state university law school degree and then lose. Woo! He'll never hear the end of it. He'll never make partner at his prestigious law firm. Can you imagine the sting of losing not just to a black attorney, but to one who might chop his words and speak ebonics in the courtroom every now and then? That's a blow to the ego that he just can't afford. On top of that, he's defending a client who he and his peers would likely look down upon if they saw them on the evening news. They probably assumed guilt just from the sight of that black or brown person. This lawyer, this white lawyer who is immersed in the culture and the understanding of the dominant society. And I'm not saying that he's actively racist or anything. I'm just saying he knows exactly what that all-white jury is going to think about his client after I introduce that evidence about him being a criminal. On top of the fact that he's black, now he's a criminal. So what does he do? He settles the case. He settles the case. In effect, what you see me doing is using racism that was meant to oppress me to benefit me and my client. Did y'all hear that? Did you hear that? Now, being able to do that didn't just happen overnight. It came from years and years of mastering my craft, understanding people, talking to people, and constantly interacting with people of all walks of life and all colors and all races. And guess what? You can do the same thing. You can take that very weapon that has been used against you to keep you as a black man down and turn it into your favor. Let's be clear. There's no excuses for why you can't succeed, especially not racism. I'm not going to let you have that. Racism is not going anywhere. It is a permanent part of the culture of the United States. Like bad weather, you can't control it, but you can learn to navigate it. You can learn to use it and turn it to your advantage. Instead of letting racism be a barrier, let's let it be a stepping stone. Instead of seeing it as an obstacle, see it as an opportunity to outthink, outwork, outperform those who would use it against you. Because at the end of the day, success isn't about who you're up against. It's about how you play the game. Let me say that again. Success isn't about who you're up against. It's about how you play the game. Now, I'm going to come back in a minute, and we're going to talk about some practical business principles. All right? If y'all enjoying this show, hit the number 1 button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. The Cash App and the Super Chat is right here at the bottom of the screen. I'll be right back. Y'all hit the number 1 button. We're going to take a minute, and I'm going to drink a little bit of this water out this jelly jar. And we're going to keep on chopping it up about this real business.
In this Spurling podcast, click your mouse pad. Yeah, we out back. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Don't just hate watch, cause we outside. Let them hate watch, go and play pop. We just lay back. He don't play that. We don't play back. We don't play back. We go way back. Black men, yeah, we earn something. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D podcast, bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. Black men, yeah, we earn something. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D podcast, bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. This is Dennis Spurling podcast. Don't just hate watch, hit subscribe and let them know we outside. Don't hold hate, donate. Super chat, cash app. Put something in the collection plate. Church.
I want y'all to make sure y'all hit the number 1 button. And we're going to kind of get back to what we like to do over here, man. I need y'all to check in at a certain point when it's time to check in. I need to check in it, to checking in to start happening again. We got to go ahead and get this algorithm pumping. All right, welcome back to the broadcast. Big shout out to everybody who's contributed to the Super Chat so far. And thank you so much, Lateral Richard, my man Lateral Richard. He has joined the membership. Welcome to the new membership. Big shout out to Glow Hardy. He said MF is be thinking they're virtuous because they broke. Right, that's exactly what I'm saying. They're not virtuous about being broke. That's a condition. You didn't put yourself in that position. It just happened. That's like saying I'm virtuous for lasting an earthquake happened, and I'm virtuous for being in the earthquake. That's a condition that you in. You see what I mean? That is a dire condition. You don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you climbed the mountain. Look how successful I climbed the mountain. No, you just broke and poor, and you were born in that situation. You haven't done anything to get yourself. There's nothing virtuous about that, especially in a country that has 40% of the millionaires. Think about that. Nevertheless, my man, Internet Passport said, it'll be a pleasure to meet you at the Black Manosphere Conclave. Keep going, Blizzard King. Salute. Shout out to you. Big shout out to Brazen Bull. Good looking out. Thank you for outstanding service to Black men, brother. Spurling, big time respect to you from Lexington, Kentucky. Shout out to Lexington. They got some cute ladies in Lexington, Kentucky. I don't know if y'all have ever been to Kentucky. They got some fine women in Kentucky. I went to school with a lady who was from Kentucky. She was probably the prettiest thing I've met. This is way back before y'all days, man. But they got some fine women out there. Shout out to Lexington, Kentucky. Nevertheless, here we go. So we are talking about getting rich in the rig system. And there's some, other than getting your mind right, okay, and not letting excuses hold you back, there's some practical business principles that, and one of the first, and I'm going to speak to you in a language you can understand, okay? Do you know what you're doing? You understand? Do you know what you're doing? Do you know what you're doing? Before you put your products and services out there on the market, do you know what you're doing? Okay? Especially when you're starting something new. And that's the first question you need to ask yourself. Do you know what you're doing? In other words, can you take this task from the start to the finish with confidence? For example, as an attorney, can I take a case, a car accident case, from the moment the client calls me and says they've been in an accident and they're injured? Can I take that case through the process of opening the claim, navigating through the claim? If they deny the claim, I can run it all the way up to the Supreme Court of that respective state. If I cannot do that effectively, if I can't teach others how to do it, or if I can't explain the process in simple terms to a 10-year-old with a 4th grade education, then I haven't yet achieved sufficient mastery of my profession. That means I need to keep working on it. Shout out to LJ. As usual, Uncle D, you're cooking. Now, let's say you're a truck driver. Well, my truck driver's out there. Somebody type ain't in the chat room with my truck driver. Beep, beep in the chat room. Or bomb, bomb, where my truck driver's at. Where my truck driver's at. Let's say you're a truck driver. If you pick a load up in San Diego, California, can you confidently take that load all the way to Boston, Massachusetts, which is east and north, or some other distant city across America? Do you know the roads you need to take, the checkpoints you need to meet, the requirements along the way? If you can do that, and if you can teach somebody how to do that, then you have sufficiently mastered your profession. Or if you're an electrician, shout out to all my electricians. Do you know how to wire a house properly to ensure that the family living there won't be at risk of an electrical fire sometime in the future? Can you listen to the description of this electrical problem and have a good idea of what needs to be done before you start doing anything? If not, you can't. Do you have the tools necessary to diagnose the issues? If the answer is no, then you're not competent and you need to go back to learn some more and how to master your craft. That's the first thing you need to focus on. Now, the question next is, how do you learn what you need to know? How do you learn what you need to know? Well, it comes down to paying your dues. The problem with a lot of people today is that they haven't mastered their craft and they're not willing to put in the necessary work to learn. Often what you need to do is start from the bottom. But some of y'all don't want to do that. You want to start from the middle. Hell, you want to come in and be the CEO on your first day. Those of you guys who read my books, my Uncle Slim used to say, you gotta, well, he used to say a lot. But bottom line is you got to start work. You got to work for someone else. Sometimes you got to work for a little or nothing just so you can sit and learn and watch and do everything that they do. We've heard stories of people who started as bodyguards or drivers and they worked their way up to CEO of the company, then turned around and took over the company. The reason is simple. They stayed by that person's side. They learned how they operated and then they mimic what they did. It doesn't always require a great deal of formal education and training to learn how to operate within the system. Remember, America is designed for you to get rich. If you're not making money, if you're not finding success in America, that's on you. There's some fear and cowardice in there because there's too many people out here getting rich. There's too many people who are less qualified, not as intelligent, definitely don't have as much as education as you, and they're doing fine. There's too much money out here to be made and too many opportunities available. We live in a consumer-driven economy. People want to consume. They wake up every day thinking about what they need to purchase, what they want to purchase. And their day often revolves around how they're going to earn money to do so. The average American has very little savings, meaning the money that they earn is the money that they spend. All you have to do is get close to somebody who's mastered the art of making money in a particular profession and figure out what they're doing, how they're doing it, and mimic them. Period. Is that what y'all say? Period. Right? Now, of course, there's always going to be room for adaptation. And as you get deeper into the business, there'll be things you'll do differently than the person you learn from. That's okay. That's called innovation. But the first step is mastering the craft. And to do that, you need to learn from the master. That might mean taking a job that pays minimum wage, just so you can get close to the right person, just so you can get your foot in the door. You might even have to work for free. Personally, I don't trust people who work for free. which is why I always pay people, typically paying them what they're worth. But along with that paycheck, they get a wealth of knowledge. It's bad business to have someone working for you for free because nothing is truly free, and they're going to get something out of you one way or the other. Nevertheless, you got to be willing to start low and pay your dues if you want to master your craft. That's the only way you rise. Any other way, you'll find yourself out there without truly understanding what you're doing. You can't read all the books. You can read all the books you want to, but unless you see how the tools and how the money are being used by a master craftsman, someone who knows how to turn their skill set into a paycheck. Let me say that again. As someone who knows how to turn their skill set into a paycheck, you'll be lost in the process. You'll never be able to put that puzzle together. Okay? So that was the first thing. Master your craft, right? And how do you master your craft? Ask yourself, how do you learn what you need to know? Right? How do you know what you're doing? How do you learn what you need to know? And the next one is going to be how to get clientele. Listen to me now. Clientele, people, the consumers. See, once you know what you're doing, the next question is how to get clients. We got people over here who are barbers. Shout out to all the barbers. Shout out to all the plumbers. Some of y'all work at a barber shop. Some of you plumbers work for companies. The truth is, it doesn't matter if you're a school teacher. You're a school teacher. If you had the right clientele and students, you can start your own school. You know how to do that, right? So for most of us, the only thing that separates you from your boss is your ability to bring in clientele. If you had the same clients as your boss, you could easily start your own business. As an employee, you're often the one doing most of the work, while the boss is sitting back and collecting checks. Now, there are situations where you might be a secretary or a paralegal at a law firm. In my case, for instance, doing more work than the lawyers, as my staff is doing. But the lawyer has a law license, a law office, and a name and a reputation in the community. You're just a cog in their machine. And even though you may have the skill set, you don't have the qualifications or licenses to operate independently. It's also important to recognize that many of these bosses have sacrificed years of their life getting educated, becoming proficient, and mastering their craft. So it's not just about skill. It's about qualifications and experience. You got to get your stamp of approval. That said, once you have the qualifications, the question of how to get clients comes down to doing whatever it takes. Somebody type whatever it takes in the chat room. The truth is, platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook give you direct access to the public. Whatever you're selling, there's someone out there who wants to buy it. I guarantee. Your goal is to use the most financially efficient methods to let people know what you're offering, whether it's a product or whether it's a service. Keeping your overhead low is crucial. And that's part of what of finding the cheapest way of attracting clients. Overhead. There's nothing cheaper than word of mouth. That's inexpensive. As far as Facebook posts that you have to pay for, that gets a little more expensive. On the other hand, you got advertisement, TV spots, and commercials. That's very expensive. It can be costly. And most people who are just starting out in business can't afford that. What can you do to leverage your contacts then? That same cell phone you're looking at right now, most of y'all, look at your cell phone. Look at your cell phone, count your contacts. If you got 100 contacts in your phone, that's $1 million right there. Each one of those persons can send you a client if you start a new business. So what can you do to leverage those contacts? Can you send out mass text messages? Can you send out mass emails to as many people as possible? These are your friends. These are your family members. These are your associates. If you send 1,000 emails out, the rule of thumb is if you send about 1,000 emails out, you might get a 3% return. That's a lot. That's a whole lot. You understand? That's 30 people. 3%. You get 30 people to come to your barbershop and cut your hair in a week. You did good. You get 30 new clients to come solicit you for your plumbing services. You did great. That's about the rule of thumb. Now, it depends on the business. It varies from business to business, but that's it. But the key is consistency. Somebody type consistency in the chat room. You can't be one of these fly-by-night businesses. Consistency. You need to be able to do it over and over until people start recognizing you as a person who provides this product or this service to the community. For example, as I said before, I'm a personal injury lawyer. I don't advertise criminal law, even though I've done some criminal law. I don't advertise family law, even though I've done some family law. I don't advertise contracts law, entertainment law, or business law, even though I've had experience in those areas. People know me as a personal injury lawyer, and that's how I built my reputation. It's no different than going to Burger King for a burger or KFC for fried chicken. What do people know you for? There's no need to be a jack of all trades. That's too much to manage. Set up your business to handle one type of thing, one type of case, one type of client, one type of product, and focus on that. Of course, there may be related things you can do, but for the most part, you need to be known for one thing. Master that. Stay focused and use the most cost-effective methods to advertise, like word of mouth, social media, your cell phone contacts. Being known for doing one thing well is your most powerful weapon, because now people know exactly where to go when they need that particular product or service. Now, y'all learning something? Are you all learning something? If you're learning something, hit the number 1 button. If you're learning something, hit the number 1 button. Let me know you've learned something. We're not finished. We got more game to give. And if you're enjoying this, let me know you're enjoying this. I need to know. Because, see, we could sit up here and talk about social issues and politics all day, but that's not making you any money. And Uncle D want to see you ball. You understand what I'm saying? I want to see you get paid. I want to see you be happy. I want to see you take them first class flights instead of them coach flights. Some of y'all out here on the Greyhound. I want to see you doing well. I want to see you go from flying commercial to flying private. I want to see you ball. You understand? So we've talked about some general principles. Let's go ahead and start. Let's talk about making money. Speaking of making money, y'all need to hit that super chat up and that Cash App up. Let's see. I'm going to give a shout out to all my folk who came through with the Cash App. Shout out to Mr. Gibbs. Shout out to Derek. Thank you so much, fam. I appreciate y'all. Y'all need to go ahead and pay me for my time. This is a $1 million worth of game right here I'm giving y'all. Okay? I'm taking away excuses. I'm freeing your minds. Show your appreciation for what I'm doing. Or your black behinds. Bars. Anyway, so the next thing is, man, what do you start doing when you know what you're doing? You mastered your craft, you got your clientele coming in. Golly, you gonna start making money. You're gonna make some money. The money's gonna start coming in. So what do you start doing once you start making money? What happens now? Shout out to my man Griff. Once you start making money, the smartest thing you can do is reinvest in your business. Focus on making your operations more efficient and hiring higher quality employees. So you might start with workers who don't even have high school diplomas, but over the time, you can end up with PhDs on your payroll. As your business grows, you might transition from manual labor to incorporating AI. And innovation is crucial. It's about running your business more efficiently and reducing costs wherever possible. Take AI, for example. Tasks that used to take my staff, my office staff, 4 to 5 days, like answering discovery, it can get completed in 15 to 20 minutes because I have taken the steps as the leader of my business and embraced artificial intelligence in my law practice. Some of y'all won't touch AI. It's going to take over. Well, before it takes over, I'm going to get rich off of it. How about that? Okay, because I'm not using any excuses. If I don't use racism as an excuse to be afraid, I damn sure ain't going to use AI, what's going on some computer screen. You understand me? And here's the thing you need to understand. If you don't innovate, you'll get left behind. I'm sure there are people out there who are still riding on horseback and they getting passed up by people who are running 100 loads a week in trucks. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Thank you so much, fam. Peace, chat. So believe me, competition and your adversaries, they're constantly looking for ways to innovate. If you're stuck doing this the old way, you're wasting valuable time. And as we all know, time is money. Somebody type time and money in the chat room. Using AI not only cuts down on overhead, but it also allows you to reallocate manpower to other tasks. For example, I've had my 14-year-old son and my 16-year-old sons working in my office. And they've been just as efficient as my college level staff because the tasks have become simpler and more streamlined. This increases efficiency and translates into time saved and higher quality work. And I can put people with less education in there, so that means I can pay them less. All you got to do is put this in the AI and dump that in and make sure it's spelled correctly. I don't need a PhD for that. The other thing is a rule of thumb. You need to be able to break a task down, however complicated, in such parts and divisions that a 16 or 17-year-old with a high school education can do. See, I don't assign new employees to complicated tasks. Instead, I start them with simple tasks and simple duties like sending out letters or making phone calls, tasks that the average person can do. Average person with average education can manage. Doing intake, new client calls, take all this information, write it down, put it here, send out a letter that's already typewritten. All you have to do is change the address. And what this does, it keeps the overhead low because it allows me to say to my employees, hey, if you quit, I can easily replace you at the same starting pay that you got. So you might have worked your way up to $20 an hour. I'm going to start somebody doing your job at $10 an hour. So you quitting is going to save me money. Now, what that does is breaking these tasks up into simple, easy to learn tasks. Number one, it ensures that your business keeps running smoothly, like a well-oiled machine. And if a cog in the machine breaks, I can easily replace it, keeping everything on track. Remember, no one in your business should be irreplaceable except you. No one in your business should be irreplaceable except you. It's also in your best interest not to teach any single employee all the skills they need to know, or all the skills that every other employee knows. Because if you become too dependent on one person, they gain leverage over you. And they can demand you start paying them more money, which only increases your overhead. Speaking of overhead, consider your facilities where you house your business. If you want to go with a brick and mortar place, think about it. What's the point of renting a $10,000 a month suite if it's just you and a few employees that are going to be there? Think about how you can downsize, keep things compact, and work more efficiently. Because everything else is just vanity. You can do the same thing in a $2,000 suite that you can do in a $10,000 suite. I'm speaking from experience. So maybe instead of full-time employees, you employ multiple part-timers, okay? And this approach can also save you money on wages and workers' comp and health insurance. In some businesses, you might even consider outsourcing tasks in overseas. For instance, if you are a truck driver or an electrician, why not hire a company in India or South America to handle your incoming calls and referrals. Where you might pay an employee based in the United States $15, $20 an hour, overseas, you can get a company over there to do it for $3 or $4 an hour. That significantly reduce your overhead costs. And at the end of the day, your goal is to maximize your profits. See, now some people might argue about paying a fair wage. Come on, somebody type fair wage. You're not fair. You thinking like an employee. I'm thinking like an employer. You thinking like a worker. I'm thinking like a boss. That's the mindset that we have to change. Black American men, especially, you've been trained so long to think like a victim, to think like an employee, as opposed to think like a boss and thinking like a victim, a victor. This goes against your training. You here concerned about paying a fair wage and supporting American workers, but remember, you're in business of making money, not saving souls. If you want to save souls, go be a preacher. Your priority should be running a profitable business by cutting costs wherever you can. Keep your overhead low so you can offer the best quality work to your customers and ensure longevity of your business. Reinvesting in your business is key, but don't be wasteful with it. Don't overpay people. Don't have facilities you don't necessarily need. Don't be one of these people who, as soon as they make a little money, they go out and overextend themselves on personal luxury items, buying expensive cars, suits, or trying to impress friends, right? All that does is drain your resources. Then what happens? An emergency happens. An emergency happens in your business and you don't have the funds to handle it. And you can end up going out of business. Keep your focus on building and maintaining your business so that it remains successful in the long run. Speaking of that, dealing with emergency situations. Are y'all with me? I don't feel the love in the room. I don't feel the love in the room. I want to talk about dealing with emergency situations, but you guys are going to have to show me some love. I need you guys to contribute to the super chat. I'm going to need another. Let's pick a number. I got 7 super chats. I'm going to need 20 super chats, and I'll be right back. And when I come back, we're going to talk about dealing with emergencies in your business. But y'all got to kick in, man. Matter of fact, I'm going to put the preacher music on. Hallelujah. Praise God. Y'all need to kick in and get in where you fit in. I'm going to open up. The pastor will be passing out the collection plate, and y'all need to kick in. I need 13 more super chats, and I'll be right back.
I want to see you win. And I put pressure on us men to understand how we did not get our masculinity training. And we've been doing our work, okay? But now it's time for you ladies to understand you're going to have to bet on us like you want us to bet on you. I talked to several men this week. I don't just get on here and talk shit. I have men I call around the world and I ask, what do you think about this concept? Level set me. Shout out to brother Dennis Spurling. Dennis, I'm not gonna get. Well, I don't want to tell people's business, but I'm gonna tell you, high value men retire their women or make them come work for them. So, ladies, what is it going to take for you to free yourself? Because you and I both know you're dying at these jobs. You're in a toxic.
All right. I'm back. Y'all need to give me 9 more super chats. I'm gonna need to go ahead and get 9 more super chats. Come on, I don't care how much it is. $1, $10, $2. It's the principle of the matter. I am out here and I'm not gonna be working for free. You want quality broadcast, you want good stuff. What other multimillionaire attorney is gonna sit up here and talk to you all in the middle of the day on a Friday? By right, I should be on a golf course somewhere. You understand me? I could be somewhere on a golf course instead of here talking to you. But I just felt like there was an important broadcast and need to be done, especially black folks. Black folks always talking about how the wealthy amongst us never come back. Well, this is why they don't come back. You got to put in on the sack. You got to put something in to get something out. I need 9 more super chats. Y'all need to go ahead and make that happen. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to continue, but I trust that you all will get me my 9 super chats. And because I want this broadcast to get out there, I'm going to go ahead and continue. But I'm going to need those 9 super chats. Shout out to everybody who came through on the Cash App. I'm going to make sure I give y'all some love. All my people who came through. Who we got out here, man? We got, let's see. We got some beautiful people who came through on the super chat. And I got to go to the bank. Shout out to Mr. Roulette. Thank you. Say money making strength. Y'all like this? If you like this, let me know. You want me to talk about making money and how to get paid in this corrupt system that we live in? Or you just want me to be one of these other internet folks who just whine on the internet all day and complain about how everything is wrong? Huh? Do you want to be victors or you want to be victims? You want to be victorious or you want to be victims? What mindset do you want me to preach on this page? I already preach a freedom doctrine, but nothing's free. You got to pay for that. You understand? Shout out to my man, Mr. Roulette. Thank you so much. Also, Mr. Patterson. Also, Miss Tangelina Scales. That's a pretty name. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you for that $5. She put 5 on the sack. Praise God. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And Mr. Gibbs, Mr. Derek, somebody said thank you for the game, baby. I appreciate Black Samurai. I ain't seen you in a minute, Black Samurai. What's happening, baby? Boy, I tell you, shout out to you. Shout out to my girl, Gail and Knight. Thank you so much for making sure they know what a complete collection plate is. Mark the freelancer. So let's continue. Okay. Let's get a little nightcap of what we started off talking. We're talking about getting rich in a rigged system. We understand as Black Americans that this system is not designed to benefit us. Matter of fact, it was built on our backs. But just like jujitsu, you can start off on your back and end up winning. You understand what I'm talking about? And so what I did was I ran down some practical business principles. Shout out to my man, Black Free Thinker. Good looking now, player. Thank you, Playboy. This is needed. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate you. So there's some practical business principles that we are discussing here, things that you would get in a business school anywhere in America worth a damn. And I laid it out in a way that's easy to understand. Shout out to my man Andre M. Do you know what you're doing? That's the first question I asked for. The next thing is, how do you learn what you need to know? And it comes down to paying your dues. Shout out to my man Dario25. Good looking out, praise. Said appreciate you, Uncle D. All I need is 8 more super chats and I'm gonna be live. But who else we got up in here? How to get clientele, because the only thing that separates you from your boss is the fact that they have the clientele. What else are we talking? Shout out to you, YP Studio. I'm a truck driver planning to start a drone business. I'm already Part 107 certified. Shout out to you, Playboy. Keep it going. Once you start making money, what do you do with the money? You reinvest in your business. We talked about that. Now we get into one of my favorites. And as a Hurricane Katrina evacuee, living down south, having dealt with all these different emergencies, employees coming and going, systems going down, flooding, all that stuff. I went to Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Harvey. The question you need to ask yourself is, what do you do in these emergency situations? How do you deal with these emergency situations? Because see, in any business operation, emergency situations are bound to arise. You need someone who can respond immediately when these issues come up. For example, if your computer system crashes, you got your computers networked at your office or whatever, and you need an AI specialist or you need a computer specialist with whom you already have established a relationship with. See, it's crucial to have someone you can call in emergencies related to your technology, your communications, and your facilities, whether it's wiring, a new computer, installing software, or even moving boxes around the office. Because once you get a certain age, you ain't gonna be wanting to move them damn boxes around the office, okay? Something as simple as installing software. You need just a reliable handyman that you can call, okay? To move an electric plug from here to there because you got a new employee and you want to maximize the space in your office. So instead of putting 2 desks in there, now you figured out a way to put 5 desks. So you need somebody who can come in, set up your phones, set up your electrical outlets, wire your computers, network. This is what you need, okay? And this person could be different from the one who handles the computer systems. But you need a locksmith, because when you get that employee, you need to be able to call that locksmith, that company that you already have a relationship with, to change the locks. But the key is to have a relationship with them in advance. The saying that I always say, make your friends before you need them. Somebody write that down. I'm gonna put that up. Make your friends before you need them. You hear me, fam? This is a business principle. Make your friends before you need them. That applies here. See, when it comes to external support, because you got internal support, that's your employees, that's your W-9 employees, and then you got these 1099s. These are the people you contract with. All right, that's external support. You need an accountant. You need a bookkeeper. And it's wise to establish a relationship with a tax attorney, because if you're making money, the IRS is likely is taking notice. Because every time somebody sends you a check, especially if it's a contractor, they're going to send you a 1099. And you want to be prepared for that. Shout out to my man, Lemuel Norman. Thank you so much. Appreciate the game. Keep blessing. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Good looking out. We need 6 more super chats, fam. Come through with the super chat. Y'all got me out here losing my voice. I got honey and lemon in my jelly jar now. I had to put some honey and lemon in my jelly jar. Yelling at this screen, trying to help y'all get rich. As I said, if you're making money, the IRS is going to be looking at you. They're going to notice. Ignoring your tax obligations, that's going to lead to a serious problem. They'll shut you down. They'll take your bank accounts. So it's best to be proactive. Another often overlooked, especially for new folk, you don't know the importance of a bookkeeper. Look, your TurboTax is not going to work anymore. All right, you did that didn't work. You're going to need an accountant when you start making some real money. You understand? Another often overlooked necessity is insurance. You may not be able to afford it from the start, but as your business grows, you're going to need general liability insurance. You're going to need workers' comp insurance, and perhaps even more specific coverage. Okay? You hear me? Building a relationship with a reliable payroll company like ADP or one of its competitors, that's essential. Why? Because you don't want to be sitting there trying to calculate your employees' payroll. You want them to have to clock in and clock out. You want to be able to call somebody and make sure the proper taxes are taken out for your state. Please don't be one of these black business owners that's paying people under the table. Don't be that person. Yeah, here you go. Here a little $20, here a little 40. Don't do that. Because the minute you're behind doesn't pay them and they quit, they're going to go apply for workers' comp insurance and they're going to swear up and down that they were an employee. And then they're going to make you not work, they unemployment insurance, and they're going to make you pay. Stop doing business like that. Do business the legit way. Always create business with an eye for growth. ADP or any of one of those competitors, make sure you pay your employees right. That way you can grow. It doesn't cost a lot. They'll work with you. You're a small business. They'll even give you a discount on health insurance. Y'all walking around there, riding around in Mercedes Benzes and big old cars, ain't got no health insurance. Ain't got no health insurance. You getting sick and you going down to CVS trying to ask them, now look, I got a little itch right here. And is there some kind of salve I can put on my neck or something like that? You need to go to a doctor. You don't have health, you don't have Blue Cross, Allied, none of that. But you got a Bentley outside, paid for it. You big dummy. That's bad business. But nevertheless, since we're talking about emergencies, every business is going to face breakdowns. Okay? Every business is going to face breakdowns. And if you want your operation to continue generating revenue, you're going to have to establish connections before you actually need them. It's also important to keep things in-house as much as possible, even when it comes to simple tasks like copying documents. At one point, I used to send all my copies out. That was $1,000, $2,000 every time my case went to litigation. That runs up the cost for my clients. Now what I've done, okay, I bought 3 copy machines. Bought them over the years, leased them with an option to buy. Okay? Just in case one breaks down, I got another. If that one breaks down, I got a backup. I also don't rely on just one employee. I have 2 full-time employees, a part-time employee, and a couple of others that are around to be trainees to step in if needed. I hire from within. And this ensures that I always have someone who can keep my business running smoothly, because at the end of the day, my business is my lifeline. I built relationships with the same service providers I started with 20 years ago, whether it's the payroll company, the copying company, the telephone networking company. This consistency helps maintain stability, which is critical for business growth. You can't take a tree and replant it every 2 or 3 years and think it's going to have deep roots. You got to plant that tree and leave that tree right where it is, and the roots will get deep. Now, that doesn't mean you won't switch. I mean, here's the thing. Consistency helps maintain stability. And again, that's critical for business growth, but don't get confused. That doesn't mean you don't switch if you find a significantly better deal. If AT&T start offering me better rates, like cut my rates by 80% to if I move to Comcast, well, I'm gonna move from I'm gonna go to AT&T because I'm about keeping my overhead low. Okay, that was a significantly better deal though. But for the most part, consistency, there's the consistency that you're looking for comes from long-term relationships and trusted partners. Sometimes change is inevitable. Storms happen, relocations happen, other disruptions might force you to adapt. But for the most part, my phone numbers, my email addresses, my companies I work with, they've remained the same. Consistency is key to creating a business with an eye for growth. And you can't achieve that by paying people under the table or relying on small mom and pop operations that can't scale with you. And when emergencies happen, you need partners who have the resources to help you. And that's why it's crucial to build a strong, reliable foundation for your business. Now, we talked about some general business principles. Some of you might not have picked them up, but I'm gonna lay it down for you. Get your little pens and papers out. And y'all give me 20, I need 6 more super chats. That's what I need. Shoot me 6 more super chats. Come on, I'm doing this for the bag. Ain't that what y'all say? Give me the bag. Business principles that we discussed in this very casual conversation. Knowing the playing field. Understand that the U.S. is a land full of opportunities to build wealth, especially when it comes to financial success. This is not a warm, fuzzy, cozy place that you should curl up in. There's a reason why there are 22 million millionaires in the United States. There's a reason why 40% of the millionaires in the world live in the United States, and the United States only have 5% of the world's population. This is the best place to do it. So know your playing field. Number 2, use the system to your advantage. Don't let the fact that the system is rigged against your butt hold you back. Instead, use it as a tool to move forward. I know you black, we know you black, but don't let that stop you. We know the system is geared against you. Use it anyway. I gave y'all some creative ways of how I use the system in the legal system. The racist part of it, I gave it to you. Number 3, shift your mindset. Change how you feel about challenges. See them as opportunities rather than obstacles that stand in your way. The other thing is, and this is the cold truth, accept capitalism for what it is. Understand that capitalism isn't about fairness. It's about winning. And you need to play by those rules. All you goody two shoes. You in the game already. You benefiting from it already. Number 5, learn from success. Don't condemn it. Instead of tearing down those who've made it, study their path and figure out how they did it. Even if you don't agree with everything they did, understand what they did. Another thing, stop making excuses. Don't let the unfairness of the system be your excuse for not getting ahead of it. And focus on what you can do within it. The other thing, number 7, educate yourself on money. Learn how money works, how to invest wisely, how to build a business that thrives. And of course, we talked about consistency being the key. Keep your approach steady, whether it's in marketing or how you run your business. Consistency builds trust and success. It's going to help you get clients and maintain clients. It's going to help you maintain your the consistency of the services the quality of the services that you put into the stream, the marketplace. Other thing is start from the bottom. Be willing to start from the bottom. Pay your dues and learn from those who've already succeeded in the field. Master your craft. Make sure you've mastered the skills you need to succeed before you move forward. Know what you're doing inside and out. Number 11, build relationships before you need them. Establish connections with key service providers and experts before emergencies happen. What I'm telling you is have a Johnny on the spot. Johnny on the spot. That's the guy you called or the person you called to come, bam, right there. I already got a guy. You know what? We got a linebacker cheating up. I'm going to send a running back over there to get him. Bam, I got a guy. Put him in motion. Put that wide receiver in motion. Move that DB. Bam, we going that way. Hit the 4 hole. Woo! You said tailback. Wing T. We gone. Yeah. The other thing is you got to prepare for the unexpected. Always have a backup plan. Have people ready to step up when things go wrong so your business don't miss a beat. One of the reasons why I have my sons working at my office, why I have my family working at my office is in case one of these employees quit, guess what's going to happen? Oh, don't worry about it. We'll get my son down there or get the wife to go down there and fill in the spot, train up somebody new. We don't miss a beat. See how that works? Huh? It's all in the family. Keep your costs low. Let me say that one twice. Keep your costs low. Keep your costs low. Keep your costs low. Who you stunting for? Focus on cutting overhead. You don't need marble tabletops. That wood tabletop is fine. Keep focus on cutting your overhead and other expenses to maximize your profits and keep your business running smoothly. I've been in business 20 years. I know what I'm talking about. Every business I started has run well. From Esquire Entertainment to Coffee King International to Dennis Spurling PLLC Attorneys at Law. These same principles. Hire for quality. As your business grows, bring in better employees who can contribute more to help take business to. I started off hiring people who may not even had a high school education. Now I'm hiring people who are in college or about to graduate. You got to build yourself up. The other thing is, in this world we live in, you have to embrace the technology. Don't run from it. Don't get left behind. Use tools like AI to make your business more efficient and run free and free up time for other important tasks. If you get this small stuff taken care of, your staff, you and your staff can take on more complicated tasks. And the more complicated tasks, typically the more you get paid. Don't rely on one person. Avoid putting all your eggs in one basket with a single employee or tool. Always have alternatives ready. Stick with your trusted partners. It's 17 now. Stick with where my super chats at? This good. Who else is talking to y'all like this, man? Huh? Who else is talking to y'all like this? Oh, what else would you be doing on a Saturday? You riding down the street, you in your damn job, evil eyeing your boss, and I'm giving you the game of how you can escape and be free like me, free like Uncle D. And you, come on, where my $2 at? Super chat. I need 6 more super chats to get me to 20, and that'll be plenty. But again, stick with your trusted partners. Continue working with service providers who've proven themselves reliable, but always be on the lookout for a better deal. The other thing is plan for growth. Build your business with the future in mind. And don't rely on under-the-table deals that can limit your growth and potential. I know lawyers right now, they use what you call runners. They paying tow truck drivers to bring in cases in. They all right now, but the minute they try to blow up, the minute they try to go outside that, the minute they try to raise their profile, all of those people who they've done dirt with are going to come back and say, yeah, you need to pay me more money. That's how that works. You can't make a deal with the devil. The devil is always going to come back and collect his at the most inopportune time. You out here running for senator and you got 10, 15 tow truck drivers that say you've been paying them under the table to bring car accident cases in. Can't do business like that. Shout out to TIQS $1 Million Knowledge. This show is, man, we need 5 more super chats. So plan with an eye for growth. Okay? Do clean business. Do above table business. The other thing, reinvest in your business. Put your profits back into your business. Rather than spending them on unnecessary personal luxuries, pay your employees, get some health insurance, keep them incentive to stay in there. Upgrade your computer systems. Upgrade your AI. Always have a war chest ready so you can fight a bigger battle. Man, I fought car accidents for years. Just settled the case for $28 million because I had enough money to put in to fight a class action case because I saved for a rainy day. I'm just saying. But had I been out there buying them Rolls Royces like some of these other lawyers, I wouldn't have got that money. Now, I'm all in the game. Working on another case, a CPAP case. Look, man, just settled it for $500 million. And we still waiting for some more checks. That's what happens when you put in on your business. You see? That's what happens. So think about that. Okay? The other thing is, adapt to change. Adapt to change. Be ready to adjust to changes, whether it's relocating or shifting your strategy while you keeping your core operations consistent. You got to be adaptive. You got to be able to move. Delegate with purpose. What does that mean? Assign tasks to your team based on their strengths and ensure they're capable of handling that. Okay? Are y'all with me? Let me know if you're with me. Hit the number 1 button. You got to structure your business to strive through tough times, whether it's economic downturns or unexpected challenges. I wasn't affected by the 2008 downturn. I wasn't affected by the COVID-19 shut-in. I was good because I built my business like that. I told you I was a Hurricane Katrina survivor. I already know what that's like. You don't want to be the one out there trying to rebuild your business because your business got flooded. Plan for the inevitable emergencies. Think long term. Where do you want your business to be in the future? Set goals. Don't do anything that can undermine your business to pass it on to your children or your ability to sell it. Understand your market. Who are you tailoring your services to? That comes with time, but you can do your research preliminarily. Deliver value. Build a strong network of contacts, including mentors and industry leaders who can offer support and other stuff. Look, I got a whole bunch of people I know, man, just from practicing law. There's possibly nobody in America that I can't reach out and make a phone call and get to that somebody introduced me to. Whether it's in the entertainment business or the finance business, I got a good reputation. You see? There's a reason why people like Kevin Samuels reached out to me. There's a reason why all these people who you see blowing, a lot of people that I know that you guys don't know I know, they reach out to me. Famous people. Lots of folks here on YouTube. It's because I deliver value. I network wisely. I build strong networks and contacts. I got mentors. I got industry leaders I talk to. Another thing, you got to watch your finances. We spoke about that, right? Keeping a close eye on your money. Know where your money is going, how your business is performing financially, and avoid those pitfalls. Now, those are some pointers. And I want to leave you all with a final and crucial point. I want you to hear me. This is very important. It's probably one of the most important things. A lot of you all start business and it feels like everybody's working against you. Everybody you feel like should be supporting you isn't supporting you. Y'all feel like that? If I hit a nerve, go ahead and give me a super chat. Because some of y'all have started businesses. You got to make sure that the people closest to you are on the same page when it comes to money. It's not enough for you to be focused on building wealth if those around you aren't aligned with your vision. Ask yourself, do the people in your circle want to be truly rich, or do they just want to look rich and be flashy? There's a difference. There's a big difference between the two. If your inner circle doesn't understand that, it can hold you back. Broke is loud and flashy because it's constantly trying to prove something. It craves validation. So it shouts to the world, look at me. Look at what I've got. But the reality is, when you're truly rich, when you've built something of substance, there's no need to make noise. Rich is silent because it doesn't have to shout to be noticed. Wealth speaks for itself in everything it touches, from the quality of your life to the stability of your future. When you're genuinely wealthy, everything around you and under you reflects that. Your investments, your business, your lifestyle, your children, your family, they all quietly tell the story of your success. There's no need to flaunt it or put it out on a show, because true wealth doesn't need a spotlight to be recognized. It's evident in the peace of mind you have, the opportunities you create, and the legacy you building. Think about it. When you walk into a room, you don't need to announce that you're wealthy. The way you carry yourself, the decisions you make, how you think, how you speak to people, and the respect you command all speaks to volumes. People can see your success without having to say a word because it's written in every aspect of your life. True wealth doesn't need to boast. It simply is. In contrast, those who are broke often feel the need to be loud and flashy because they're compensating for what they lack. They think that by showing off, they can mask their financial insecurities, but in reality, it's just a facade. It's a way to draw attention away from what's really going on. It's a temporary illusion that crumbles the moment you look beneath the surface. You out here riding around in an expensive luxury car and you live at your mama house, or you pulling up in an apartment. You trying to build wealth, but you got a spouse that wants to spend money as fast as you can make it. You got kids. Every time you save up a little bit, for whatever reason, something goes wrong and they begging you for money to help them with their children, your grandchildren, or your niece, and so you can't never save anything. That's why you got to watch the people you're around. Are they on the same financial page as you? Now, as far as wealth on the other hand, is enduring and deep-rooted. It's not about having a brand new bag, Birkin bag. Somebody type Birkin bag in the chat room. It's not about having that new car, the most expensive clothes. It's about having control. Wealth is about having control. I have so much money that I have control over my life. I can come and go as I please. You see? It's about having control over your life and your time and your future. See, when you have real wealth, you don't need to prove anything to anybody because your success is self-evident. It speaks for itself through your legacy, your building, the security you provide for your family, and the impact you're making on the world. That's wealth. You can't do that and be broke. So remember, true wealth doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't need to shout or show off. It quietly, confidently makes its presence known through the success it creates and the lives it touches. When you got it, you got it. There's no need to speak or prove it. It's already doing that for you. You need to but let me give you some game. You need to constantly teach your children and your spouse, and I'm talking to you, brothers, so you need to talk to your woman about how money is made, especially about how you make your money. They need to understand the value of hard work, the importance of paying their dues, and the process of building wealth. Put them to work in your business, just like I did, so they can learn firsthand what it takes to succeed or what it took for you to succeed. That not only helps them understand the business, but it also instills in them a work ethic that'll serve them well in their life. Invite their input and innovation, especially from the younger ones in your family. Fresh ideas, new perspectives, and a fresh pair of eyes can be invaluable when it comes to keeping your business relevant and competitive. Don't underestimate the insights of the younger generation. See, they can bring, they're often, or should I say, they're more in tune with the latest trends and technologies, and they can propel your business forward. I do that with my son. My son is in the engineering academy at one of these local high schools here in our community. He's a whiz with these computers. He knows how to make that computer do all kind of stuff and repeat different functions and tasks. Oh, wow. They didn't teach me that at Manual Arts High School back in the 90s. But they do teach that these days in these colleges and these high schools. Now, here's the tough part, and I want y'all to hear me out. Listen, here's the tough part. If you find that the people around you, family or not, if you find that they're not on the same page about your business and money, it might be time for you to reevaluate who you're surrounding yourself with. If they're not contributing to your growth, they could be holding you back. And I say could, but they probably are. Remember, nobody is irreplaceable except you until it's time for you to pass the torch. You need to build a team, both in your personal life and your professional life, that's aligned with your goals and driven by the same principles that guide you. Success isn't just about you, brothers. Are y'all listening to me? Brothers, are you listening to me? Success isn't just about you. It's also about who you choose to take with you on that journey. Surround yourself with people who understand the value of hard work, who are eager to learn, who share your vision for the future. And when you do that, you'll not only build wealth, but you'll also build a legacy. A legacy that can be carried on for generations. I want to thank you, brothers, for tuning in today. I appreciate everybody who contributed to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal. And I hope that this powerful message gives you everything you need to stop being afraid, to stop using excuses, and get on out there and do what you have to do. Remember, the road to financial freedom is one that you don't have to walk alone. Just make for damn sure you're walking it with the right people. Keep pushing, keep innovating, and let's continue building the legacy that we all deserve. This is Uncle D, and as I always say at this time, I'm out.
In the Spurling podcast. Hit the like button, subscribe.